He sees a lot of things in me that he can't stop. You know, not only does he see speed, does he see power, but he sees a lot of heart in me. Now I'm the one who has the power. Now I'm the one. Canelo said he doesn't fight. He fights for greatness. He fights for titles. Well, let me go pick up all the titles and let's come back into the table and talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In a recent interview, David Benavidez expressed his determination to prove himself, stating that he still hasn't been given the chances that truly represent his talent. He said, "I've been here for 11 years. I know my time will come. I stay motivated because I believe I can be the best." He made it clear that nothing can diminish his love for boxing, and his drive remains as strong as ever.
I just want to tell everybody, if you guys doubt me in anything outside of the boxing, never doubt my character, never doubt my competitiveness. You know, I have the spirit of a warrior, and I'm, extremely excited to show you guys against all the best fighters in the world what I'm really made of, because this is what I'm here for. This is my destiny, and I'm not going to stop until that.
Benavidez also mentioned that he is completely devoted to his pursuit of greatness and believes no barrier can prevent him from reaching his ultimate goals. He said, "Everyone knows I'm fearless. I'm determined and ready to face anyone to earn my respect inside the ring with unshakable confidence and relentless desire." He reaffirmed his ambition to become one of the best fighters in the world, ready to overcome any obstacles that appear in his path.
Good thing about me and David Benavidez's stock, we have a lot of great fights on the table. And you guys know I'm going to take every single one of them. I'm not going to run from anything, because at the end of the day, this is my destiny. If it's my destiny to go through these hard fights and win these world titles, that's what I'm going to do. This is what boxing is about. I'm sick of seeing fighters getting the easiest fights just because they're getting the biggest paychecks. Like, it don't. At the end of the day, it's not even about money. It's about giving the fans of boxing the fights that they deserve. They're paying the money at the end of the day, so let's go to war. Let's do what these people want to see us do, and let's go to war and make the best man.
In the same interview, Benavidez revealed that he has always carried big dreams and goals since he was a kid. He said he continues to work tirelessly to achieve them because he believes that through hard work and defeating great opponents, he will eventually rise to the top of the boxing world. Benavidez emphasized that he's more focused on maintaining composure and staying committed to his craft than engaging in unnecessary talk. He believes true greatness is defined by achievements, not words. He added that his greatest victory will come when the entire boxing community recognizes and applauds his efforts.
Looking at a man that's not going to let anything outside the ring, mess with his game. Since I was 3 years old, I've had one dream only. That's becoming the greatest boxer of all time, and that's exactly what we're going to accomplish. We're almost there, and we're going to keep going until there's nobody left to say anything bad.
As the main headline of the day, David Benavidez stated that Canelo Alvarez is afraid to face him in the ring, claiming that Canelo has consistently avoided the fight. According to Benavidez, Canelo recognizes his strength and skills, which makes him hesitant. He argued that Canelo struggles against bigger, stronger fighters, citing his performance against Dmitry Bivol as proof. Benavidez further stated that while the Mexican champion performs well against smaller opponents, he avoids facing naturally larger, more powerful fighters like himself out of fear of the outcome.
The way I've seen him handle my presence is he's definitely scared of me. If you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money. But Canelo Alvarez, as you can see from every time he fights a guy that's big with power, like Bivol, and he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress the little.
Furthermore, Benavidez claimed that Canelo might have beaten him years ago, back when he was still developing as a fighter. But now, he believes he has become an unstoppable force in the division. David stressed that Canelo now understands his power, skill, and determination, which makes the matchup far more challenging. Benavidez, confident in his progress, said he's ready to prove himself on the sport's biggest stage. He added that his record already reflects his excellence, and his ultimate goal is to elevate it further by dominating every step of his journey to the top.
Should have took the fight with me way back then, because if he had a chance to beat me, it would have been back then. He has no chance of beating me now, especially now. I'm getting all this confidence. I'm stepping into my prime. I'm able to deal with these bigger shows better. I'm able to thrive in these shows. Every time I fight, I'm always winning by a significant amount. So I'm learning my craft better and better each and every single fight. I'm gaining more confidence every single fight, and Like I said, I really want to go in there and hurt people. I'm not a boxer. I'm a warrior, and I go in there, I tear.
Additionally, while discussing Canelo's recent defeat to Bud Crawford, Benavidez recognized Terence Crawford as one of the greatest boxers of all time. He praised Crawford's incredible accomplishments, things most fighters only dream of achieving. Benavidez described Crawford's ring performance as a masterclass of skill, dominance, and precision. He acknowledged that Crawford faced challenges moving up in weight but overcame them with remarkable poise and determination. By jumping 3 weight classes and defeating one of this generation's best pound-for-pound fighters, Crawford defied all doubts and cemented his legacy among boxing's elite.
First, I'd like to get your thoughts on Crawford's performance against Canelo, because he beat you to it. What do you think about how Crawford did?
First of all, I just want to give Terence Crawford a great congratulations. You know, he's reached a part in history that only so many fighters get to even accomplish in boxing. You know, he's one of the greatest of all.
Most importantly, as David Benavidez continues to challenge Canelo Alvarez, veteran trainer Ronnie Shields has advised him not to accept the fight. Shields stated that now might be the perfect time for the Mexican superstar to consider retirement. He described Canelo's career as legendary, filled with greatness, championships, and unforgettable moments that have already secured his place in history. He has nothing left to prove, Shields said, suggesting it would be wiser for Canelo to retire gracefully rather than risk another damaging defeat.
Over is over, you know? And right now, I don't feel he should fight anymore. Look, he had one of the best careers any fighter could ever have. He's done everything he set out to do. What's next? To prove what? He has nothing to prove. He's already proved everything. And I think right now, the door is closed. He should shut it himself and say, you know what? I've had a great career. That's enough is enough.
So Benavidez fight doesn't catch your attention at this moment?
Moving forward, it's worth noting that Ronnie Shields correctly predicted that Bud Crawford would defeat Canelo Alvarez before their fight even took place. After Crawford's victory, Shields analyzed the bout, explaining that he expected Crawford's speed to be too much for Canelo. He highlighted that Crawford's unique stance and tactical precision exposed Canelo's weaknesses throughout the fight. Shields emphasized how Bud's strategic approach allowed him to capitalize on every opening, calling the performance a brilliant display of boxing skill and ring IQ.
David Crawford by unanimous decision. You got that. You know, I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looked for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo. And I just think that Crawford was too fast for him, you know, especially in the southpaw position. We all know Canelo have problems with the southpaw. So, you know, and that's why I picked Crawford. I just thought Crawford could be too fast.
As discussed earlier, Ronnie Shields advised Canelo to retire, but Oscar de la Hoya disagreed, insisting that the decision should rest entirely with Canelo. De la Hoya said Canelo should retire only if he personally feels ready. However, if he continues fighting, he must carefully choose his opponents at this stage of his career. Reflecting on Canelo's loss to Terence Crawford, de la Hoya admitted that Bud was simply too strong and too skilled on fight night, proving once again his unmatched ability to adapt to any style and dominate elite competition.
Crawford is older than Canelo, so we can't use the excuse that he's older, right? We can't use the excuse that, oh, well, you know, he moved around too much. Well, it's your job to figure him out, right? Just like Chavez would figure out a fighter, just like I would figure out a fighter, just like any real great fighter can figure styles out. That's your job. I think Crawford did a tremendous job. Kudos to him. Sky's the limit for Crawford, and I really don't know where Canelo goes.
Furthermore, after reviewing Canelo's career, Oscar de la Hoya shared his thoughts on Terence Crawford's future. He said that Crawford's confidence has grown immensely after this historic win, giving him even more drive to continue. Regarding weight, de la Hoya mentioned that Crawford will likely never return to 154 pounds, preferring to compete at 168 pounds now. However, if a major fight presents itself, Crawford might consider dropping to 160. Looking ahead, de la Hoya believes the most exciting fight for Bud right now would be against Vergil Ortiz, which fans would love to see.
About Virgil and Crawford at 160. Imagine that. It would be incredible. So there's a good possibility that Crawford will stay at 168. Most likely go down to 160. I don't think he's going to touch 154. I think he'll stay at 160 eventually and try to find the biggest fights possible. And the biggest fight for him would be a Virgil.
Another respected figure, Dan Rafael, said that the first few rounds of the Canelo vs. Crawford bout were competitive. He pointed out that Bud not only controlled the fight but executed his game plan perfectly to earn the win. Rafael praised Crawford's mental sharpness and vision, both before and during the match, calling them outstanding. He noted that many doubted Crawford's chances due to Canelo's size and experience, but Crawford's discipline, focus, and determination led to a well-deserved and historic victory.
But he did a great job. I thought it was close. I had Canelo ahead in the early going, but I thought Crawford did an amazing job closing that fight down in the last few rounds, where he really started to back the supposed bigger guy up, although for me, they looked about the same size. But that was a brilliant performance, and what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him, said, forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like that. But he showed his great.
Furthermore, Dan Rafael mentioned that while a rematch between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford would be entertaining, it might not be the smartest move for either fighter. He advised both men to pursue other major opportunities available to them at this stage of their careers. Rafael suggested that Canelo carefully weigh his next steps, while Crawford, now respected more than ever, will have no shortage of challengers. However, he added that Bud must wisely consider weight classes, potential matchups, and championship goals before choosing his next opponent.
Had one, the winner of Eubank, and then two, the Hamza Shiraz. I mean, those types of names. He's got mandatories. Mabili got the draw tonight in a great fight. There's other fighters that have belts and interim belts and blah, blah, blah. So, nobody's going to rush Terence Crawford into his next fight. He'll take his time, and, whatever the next fight is, it's going to be a big one because, his name is even greater now than what happened going into this fight for him. So he beats Canelo Alvarez, it becomes a much bigger.
Everyone agrees that Canelo Alvarez has had an extraordinary career. Let's take a moment to look back at his incredible achievements. The Mexican icon has won world titles across multiple weight divisions, transforming from a teenage prodigy into a global superstar. He has defeated elite fighters such as Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, and Sergey Kovalev, proving his versatility and counterpunching brilliance. Canelo's ability to deliver under pressure has made him one of boxing's biggest pay-per-view attractions. Let's see how Shane Mosley, a legend admired for his skill and discipline, described his own fight with Canelo.
The young kid, I think he was 21, 22 years old, he had a lot of experience, I should say. He had a lot of boxing experience at his age.
40, 50 fights?
Huh?
He had 40 or 50 fights at that point, right?
40 or 50 fights, but not just that. I'm talking about experience as far as knowledge about being in the ring, like experience. Like veteran experience. Like he knew how to counter, he knew how to block and counter, knew how to do different things. So it wasn't like he was just an ordinary fighter. And I was like, and fighting him, I'm like, wow. He actually knows how to get away from stuff. He knows how to counter. He knows how to trick shots up. And so he knows how.
Moreover, Canelo's two epic fights with Gennady Golovkin, where he showcased his heart and won championship glory in tightly contested battles, stand among his greatest moments. He also solidified his legacy as the first undisputed super middleweight champion by defeating Caleb Plant and unifying all four major titles. Beyond the belts, Canelo has always taken on dangerous challenges across weight classes, proving his courage and longevity. His technical mastery and warrior spirit have cemented him as one of the finest fighters of his generation. Meanwhile, David Benavidez has built his own dominant legacy, becoming a two-time WBC super middleweight champion and defeating top names like Anthony Dirrell, David Lemieux, and Caleb Plant, earning recognition as the future face of the 168-pound division. In conclusion, following the Canelo Alvarez vs. Terence Crawford fight, the boxing world eagerly awaits what comes next. While some fans call for a high-stakes rematch, others believe both men should explore new challenges. The debate over their next opponents has become one of boxing's hottest topics. With David Benavidez openly calling out Canelo, many feel this long-awaited showdown must finally happen due to its massive appeal and competitiveness. On the other hand, some argue that Canelo should consider retiring to preserve his legacy. Ultimately, the big question remains: should Canelo Alvarez accept David Benavidez's challenge or retire to protect his legendary career? And after his incredible victory, who should Terence Crawford face next? Rising stars like Virgil Ortiz, top 160 or 168 champions, or another pound-for-pound mega fight? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your opinions.